this is the stuff.
Now is the time to buy Ethereum.
Now it is June 2026. Now is the time to buy Ethereum. Now is
27 of June. 27, Saturday 27. Yeah. And yes, it's the time, it's the call of the bottom for this crypto. And if you can see our graph, if you can watch our graph, we are on monthly basis here. And this is Ethereum, and we are in a big red candle.
Yeah, so a lot of people right now, they think it's too early to buy. They're going to wait a little bit longer. They think it's October or November. But now is the time to buy Ethereum. It is June 27, 2026. If you are watching this in 2028, you missed the boat, and it's time to subscribe.
Yes. Back to our channel, Leo and Dave. Been a while we didn't cover any video, but my friend or my colleague Dave has often picked up the bottom last few years and the top as well, and he wanted to make this emergency video to share this how to say opinion. And as you can see, we have been correcting since almost how many red candle we are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
When was the top? When was the top? What month was that up there?
August. It's been 10 months. 10 months of drop.
Yeah. So that's a long time, and I think. So part of the reason why this is an emergency video and I wanted to make this video, it's really important. So let me just outlay it in simplistic terms. So I believe number one assumption I have is that Ethereum will hit the bottom before Bitcoin. Okay. So I believe that Ethereum will bottom out and start accumulating for upwards of 3 months or more before Bitcoin hits its bottom. I don't think that Bitcoin and Ethereum will hit the bottoms at the exact same time. I think Ethereum will hit the bottom first and it will start accumulating. And if you have a look at the last cycle, you can see at the bottom, this is why I've got the monthly chart up. You can see at the bottom, Ethereum hit its absolute bottom at the tip right at the bottom.
Can you believe it's in June 22, and people are tend to say, oh, it's always 4-year cycle, which means if we add 4 years to June 22, we are in June 26. So it's kind of repeating itself. What a coincidence again.
There you go. So the bottom was 900 in 2022, and now it's 1,500. Now, the thing here is, I don't think this is the exact bottom. I just put 25% of my portfolio into Ethereum now, and I've got another 25% loaded up. Now, I think the same thing might happen here, where we could actually go sideways a little bit and then dump again to 1,000, 1,200. Okay, and this is why I'm buying in 2 parts. And when you step back, there's either going to be another collapse down to 1,200, something like that, or we will roll over the same way we did in 2022, and we'll pump up, and then we'll go sideways and then come back down, and then I'll have another chance to buy in again. So I've got there's 2 times I'm buying. And I think when I look at this chart, I think, look, let's just say, obviously not everything repeats. History doesn't always repeat itself, but it does kind of rhyme. If we go lower, I get to buy in lower. If we roll over, I get to buy when it dumps again, and that will be when Bitcoin dumps again, and that will be the bottom of the market. So I've got 2 buy points. So I'm very happy to take this position. Also,
you bought 25% of your
Yeah, and my goal this cycle is to put 50% of my entire portfolio into Ethereum this time, because last cycle Ethereum was hated. Solana was the golden child. XRP did a 5x. Cardano did a 5x halfway through the cycle. All of these large altcoins, they had their cycle last time. And the hated and forgotten coin was Ethereum. This is my idea. This is what I'm thinking. And before that, Solana was hated moving into the last bear cycle because it was connected to FTX. If you guys remember this, and that's why it dropped so low, and that justified buying it so low, because, well, you buy low, the upside is going to be greater. Let's not look at Solana. Let's stay on Ethereum. I only want to look at the Ethereum monthly chart. That's it. Yeah, just stay on Ethereum monthly chart, and then what I want you guys to look at is this monthly chart here, and just look at it like a child with fresh eyes, like a child that is, if you're explaining to a child, okay, if I buy when it's low and I get green candles up, I sell, I make money. Or if it's up and there's green candles and I sell high and it drops, I lose money. If you explain that to a 10-year-old or a teenager in high school, really simplistically, and you look at this chart, let's just say Ethereum has a terrible rally. Let's just say it has an awful rally, okay? And it only makes it to maybe 3,000. Let's just say Ethereum is in a triangle. Well, if it is in a triangle, then we will get 100% regardless in the next 2 years. That's the worst. That's possibly the worst case scenario. The other one is by putting 25, well, technically 50% of what I want to commit to Ethereum in now, and we drop down, then if it goes into a triangle, then the worst case scenario really is around 50 to 100% in the next 2 years. But how many people bought Ethereum at 4,000, rode it to 5,000, and they're still holding all the way down to where we are right now? Leo, can you just leave it?
Yes, but I don't have the subscription to TradingView, so it's moving and stopping every 5 minutes. I cannot keep it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I need to open an account for next time, but okay. I'm not doing on purpose.
Okay, so you guys can see this, that this passes the child test, the newbie looking at charts test. I don't want to go into Fibonacci retracements and look at all of the I don't want to go into volume and complex things. This is where all of the scammers online get you. It's like, oh, well, look, I've got these moving averages and these secret, the trigonometry and everything. Look at it like a child. It is down, okay? And when money comes back into the cycle, then, well, so
if you look even at the previous cycle, 2018, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red candle. Last cycle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a big one. And this one we are at already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we are at the same level as 18.
Yeah,
more or less.
If history does repeat, it is around this range that is a good time to buy, isn't it?
So now, maximum, there will be one more red candle. It's the maximum, which will bring us to maximum 1K or 900. But obviously, even if you buy at 1,500 and you be patient for next cycle, it will go back to 2 or 3K. You're not taking a huge risk compared to for the people that bought at the top of the cycle. So it's always a risk and return. The return are high compared to the based on the risk.
Yeah. And 5,000 down to 1,500 is 70% down. That's the time when you started.
It's even more.
Yeah?
It's 80%. From what to what? From 5,000 to
1,500.
I think it's more than 75. I will check after, but obviously to recover from this, it's not an easy one.
Well, let's just say I just did simple math. 5,000, break it up into 500 pieces, and that's every 500 is 10%.
So then it's 85. It's 85% if you go from 5,000 to
70%
1,500.
down.
85, yes. No, 85. Let me look at it. Okay, I will calculate.
Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway,
I think it's 85, but let me calculate. It takes 1 second. So you multiply 5,000 by 0.80, 85. Okay, 1 second. You multiply by 1 by 1 second. No.
So either way, even if we do look, if we go down to 1,000, then that will be 80.
Dave, 5,000 to 1,500 is 70% done.
That's what I said.
No, you say 75. You say 75.
No, I said 70. 70.
Fine, you're right.
70. Yeah.
That's not right for 5%.
If we do go down to 1,000, then that will be the magic 80% mark, where it's like if you're not throwing money in at 80% down. Look, if Ethereum was one of the even if Ethereum was like Solana or Cardano or XRP or something like that, I would still be skeptical even around 70%, but this isn't one of those. This is the second largest market cap coin, which has been quite reliable all this time. And so it's still a relatively safe one. I do think at the end of this cycle, Ethereum will be placed number 3 in the market cap, though. I think Tether will overtake it.
Tether.
Yeah, but Ethereum, like if we're gonna pick an alt, I know a lot of people they're scared of alts, but if I was going to pick an alt that is going to recover, it is the largest alt, basically. You see,
the safest one because
I'll pick the safest one. So I'm thinking really safe. I'm not using any leverage, and there's 2 entry points. One entry point now at 1,500, and then we wait. The next monthly candle on the 1st of July in literally 1 week's time, then that will give it an opportunity to do another red candle. And if that happens, I've already set an awesome anchor position right here. I get another 25% of my portfolio lower. I'm even more happy. And then and then my goal at this point is to wait 3, 4, 5 months and research altcoins and watch Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's at 60K now, 59, 60K. It's bouncing between there. Part of the way I see this is Bitcoin is a manipulated entity. My thesis, I operate under the assumption that Bitcoin would become an altcoin and would go to zero if someone wasn't controlling it. So I believe it is like a business that is controlling the market. And a lot of people would disagree with that, but this is how I base the way I see the market. It is a business. It is running the market. It is the head coin that is running the market. And Bitcoin at the moment was fluctuating up and down on the hourly chart for the last 24, 48 hours, trying to get Ethereum lower, and it wasn't capable of doing that. And I think that Bitcoin was because Bitcoin, when Bitcoin drops a little bit, all of the bots, the trading bots, they sell a little bit off. If Bitcoin goes up a little bit, the bots buy a little bit. And so Bitcoin, fully aware that it is controlling the market, was pumping up and then grinding down, trying to so it was pumping and then grinding down on the hourly chart, trying to grind Ethereum down.
You think they use Bitcoin to short Ethereum, to bring Ethereum down?
Yes, Bitcoin is the one that moves the market, and so Bitcoin goes up, everything goes up. But there were points there where Bitcoin dropped like 2%, and then Ethereum did 5% down. So they're trying to get it down. But I think around this mark, this is where it stopped, and Bitcoin wasn't able to bring the market down any lower. So it could be the bottom, and that's the thing. I don't know, because what my thesis is, Bitcoin is trying its hardest to get Ethereum lower. And trust me, it's good for the market if Bitcoin can get Ethereum lower. But Bitcoin's struggling to get Ethereum lower, because as soon as Ethereum and Tether, they're both at about 187 billion right now. And Tether became the second largest on the market cap. And when that would pivot, you could tell that Ethereum kind of panicked and cash flew into Ethereum, because I think whoever's controlling Ethereum doesn't want it to drop, because then as soon as it starts drifting under Tether, then it just becomes a Solana, a Cardano, an XRP. Next thing you know, it's in the top 10. Next thing you know, it's at 11 by the next cycle. And this is what the people who run Ethereum are worried about. They're worried about a proper, collapse in it. And Bitcoin's doing its hardest to pull it down, and Bitcoin will probably spend the next 3 to 6 months trying to pull it down. And so this is a good position. If we just look at the monthly chart, look, we got a good position here. If it's able to get down to 1,000, we are good. We can buy in at the bottom, and we are really good, because then what I think,
we can make some money.
If Bitcoin can get Ethereum lower, then what will happen is the smart money that is watching what we're watching right now, they will buy in at the bottom. And if the smart money can buy in at the bottom, if they can get in Ethereum at, say, 1,000, then the smart money will set their positions, and then they will spend the next 3 to 6 months, a next year or two, paying or collaborating with the social media influencers on YouTube and Twitter, and they will start talking about Ethereum. You see all of the big influencers out there, and then they drive Ethereum higher than 5,000 this time.
That would be nice.
It has to go low enough for the big players to justify getting involved. That's what I'm looking for here.
Yes, they want to multiply by 7, 8, of course.
Yeah, so they'll want to get to 5, 6, 7, 8 or more thousand. They would probably try to drive it to 10 if they could. They'll probably try to do another Solana, where Solana did almost a 20x, didn't it? It went ballistic. But they have to get it lower for that to happen. And so this is a good position. And if in the next month we hit the 1st of July candle and we drop, beautiful. We get the second position in. But if we grind up over here, I think if we grind up over here over the next week or two, this is the bottom of Ethereum, and we picked the bottom exactly. That's what I think. So it's one of those two things. Either way, I want this position as a good anchor, and if we go lower, that's beautiful. But if we grind higher and we roll over, and then we roll over the next 2 or 3 months, and then we come back down, and then the next bottom is like 1,700, then I'm putting in the second 25% at 1,700 ish. 1,800, something like that. And then I'm set, and I'm ready to wait 2 years until we start taking off again. So either way, then you just step back, and then worst case scenario, and I always want to look at the worst case scenario. I think the worst case scenario is Ethereum doesn't crack 5,000 again. It only goes to 4,000. Or absolute worst case, it only goes to 3,000. Either way, I made my bet, okay? I doubled my money, and look, that's just how this game is played. But I still think that is safer than buying any alts or anything else right now. I don't recommend anyone buy Bitcoin now. I don't think anybody should be playing with any other alts right now. I think this is the only coin they should be looking at right now, because...
And how much percent do you recommend to put from their wallet? 25, 50?
Well, that's what I just said. Like, well, this is what I'm doing. So I've already bought 25% of my portfolios in Ethereum now. 100% is 100%. 25% of that is in Ethereum now, and I'm going to commit another 25% when we either hit the bottom or we roll over. And then I think towards the end of the year, there'll be proper demoralization on Bitcoin. We need the market to be properly demoralized. It was funny, I watched a video that came out yesterday. His name is Tech Lead. This guy this guy was heavily leveraged at the top of the Bitcoin market, and he didn't sell at the top. And he's
not the only one, don't worry.
He hasn't uploaded a video in 8 months. He just uploaded a video 24 hours ago saying that he lost a lot of his money because he was stupid. He didn't sell the top. And he's clearly not subscribed to Finance with Leo and Dave. So he doesn't know.
Especially to Dave, because Dave pick up the top and the bottom. The other one doesn't listen to him. But whatever.
But if he was subscribed here, he would have known when the top was, and he would be a millionaire. But I think the guy was a multi-millionaire, and I think he lost a lot of money, and he got depressed. He didn't upload a video for 8 months.
Yeah, and so don't make fun of this. It's not easy to take the good decision in life and in crypto and in all this. Not everybody has the good skill to admit that something is the top. So, but yes, if you listen, Dave,
I'll send you the video. I'll send you the video from Tech Lead. When you see it, you'll be like, "Oh wow, he really like messed up." But this is why, if you are in 2027 or 2028 and you find this video, it's time to subscribe. Time to click the subscribe button and share this video.
But if I can share something, the worst is not to pick up the bottom. Of course, it's better to buy low and sell high. But the worst is holding and not selling at the top costs more than finding the wrong entry point. Like you say, you buy at 1,500, you sell at 3K. For people even like me, it looks like, it's not a huge multiplication, just 100%. But let's be honest, in real life, it's very difficult to get 100% return. Like in a year, it's impossible in any investment, and even in 3 years, you don't get 100%. So
and I think a lot of people, what they do is they want to get rich in one cycle. When really, if you just put 30, 40, 50,000 in one cycle, and
you get to 80K, let's say 80K.
Yeah, well, really, if you buy the bottom of Bitcoin last cycle, you got a 700%. So really, you really
with 30K, you get 200K. You get 200K.
Yeah, and then you get out, and then you wait another year, and then you do this, and then you buy back in, and that 200K, it compounds big time. and let's just say Ethereum underperforms and you only do 100%, you got half a million.
Yes, 400K, half a million.
And this is what I also want to point out to everybody out there is, if you have a look at Ethereum there, from the bottom, there were technically 2 or 3 bull runs. So from the bottom, not all the way back there, that's like the last cycle, 900, not that one, not that one. From there all the way to the top, that's the first bull run. And then there was a little...
But you just see sell even here at 19. You already make 100%, which is already...
Yeah, but let's not look at that. Let's just look at the top, the first green candle top. Not that one. That's not the first one. That one there, right there. There's the top of your first bull run. And then you sell.
I remember this one. You remember this one?
Then you sell. That's March, is it?
Yes, 13th of March 24.
So
you remember this one?
Yeah. So what you do is you sell there, and then you try not to get trapped into the second run, and you wait until the bottom. Is that August at the bottom?
August 24. Yes, I remember when you called me at this. Yes, I remember when you called me at this date.
Okay. What's the next bottom? Right at the bottom there. What's that one?
April last year.
Okay, so that's very interesting. So we're gonna have to adjust our strategy for Ethereum this run, but as you can see, then you get back in on the April, and then you've got another bull run. And so let's just say you get 100 or 200 or 300%. Sell the top, get out, don't be greedy, and then we wait and we be very patient for 6 months or more until the next bottom comes in, and it looks like this. And then what you do is you go down and you get your niece or your nephew who's 10 years old, and you show them the chart on the monthly chart, and you go, should I buy here? Like, you got to simplify this. It's not rocket science. We can really keep this real simple. And so let's just say that tip that you touched, the top in the March, what is that number? Is that 4,000?
Yes. Not bad, huh?
Is that 4,000?
Yes, per grand.
So let's just say we only go to there next time. Okay, we'll get out, and that means we've done like 150%. You can't beat that. And then we'll wait. We'll be very patient. It doesn't mean we're going to get back into Ethereum, though. I want to make that clear. At the end of the first run, it doesn't mean we're going back into Ethereum. We'll be reassessing the game, and we'll be waiting for the bottom again, and then we'll be thinking.
The game with Leo and Dave, but especially with Dave, the game is always to find the biggest opportunity with the lowest risk. There is always risk, let's be honest. It will be a lie to pretend there is no risk. There is always risk. Ethereum can collapse to 500. But the thing is to find an opportunity where the risk, the return bring much more than the risk, or they bring a huge return compared to the risk. And yes, I was thinking 2 times 300 is like X10. If you have 2 times in your life 300, well, you don't try to get the 1,000% in one go like I used to try. But you have 2 times in your life 300, which is amazing. You multiply 300 by 300, and you're not making 600 or 700. You're making 900, 1,000. So if you success to make 2 times 300, it makes X10. You believe you put 30K, you have 300. That's already crazy good, huh?
Yeah, and so if there's 2 bull runs, and this is what we're told, we're told there's only 1 bull run, but I've been saying this for the last 3 years. Hang on, there's 2 bull runs here. Where's this whole myth about there being 1 bull run? There's actually 2 bull runs, and all of the social media influencers online have been lying to you. Just look at the chart. There's 2 bull runs. So what I think, and this is why I like buying Bitcoin or Ethereum at the bottom of the bear market and not alts, the largest alt, Ethereum. The reason why is because we get this full run in now, okay? We get a 100, 200, 300% if we're lucky, maybe more, okay? Then we try to pick the top, okay? And then what you do is you pocket what you put in there. Put it away if you want. And then you're basically playing with the house's money. And then you spend 6 months waiting for the bottom again. And then you go nuts. Like, remember Fartcoin at the actual bottom? Fartcoin did a 700%, didn't it? Remember? But at that point, there was a lot of stuff going on. But let's just say we didn't make a bit of a mistake around March, and then around the Fartcoin time, dude, like that's when you're playing with the house's money, and you can really go nuts, and you can do it in one bull run. But look, it's better to be safe and just do the 100-300% if you're lucky. Get in, get out, and we can
if I did this on Dev, I will be in a big island, millionaires, crazy insane. I prefer not add more, but you know my situation, and if I did this on Dev, how many million you think I will have, Dev?
Well, you're talking in code for some reason. Like, just say what happened. So in March, what was it? In March, what year was that? 2023?
No, 24.
March 2024. So it's about 2 years after buying in. You got to about $500,000, but you refused to sell it.
USD.
You refused to sell at the top. If you had sold at the top and then waited until August, which wasn't too far away, it was only like a few months after, and then bought back in and did a 200-300%, you got another 1.5 million. And then let's just say you sold the top, because I by the way, I picked the top on that next run to December within an hour. Oh, hang on, sorry.
Anyway, Dev pick up the top, the bottom. He looks not legit, but it's the truth. He's the sad truth. So, but anyway.
So we're gonna try to do that again this time. We're gonna try to do that again.
We are here to progress. We are here to progress and learn. And there is always to learn with the market. And even if there is cycle and this and that, in terms of psychology, there is always to learn. And there is always to pick up the right asset. It could be being in USDT. It could be anything. Always being patient and having the pick up the right asset and being able to sell. The worst is to not sell. Like anything in life, being in the wrong job, being in the wrong place, and you don't want to move. How do we call these things? Is the cost of
opportunity cost?
Yes, but there is another thing. When people have invested a lot in something, they don't want to get rid of it. It's not a cost of opportunity. There is another sink cost. Is the sink cost? Is that correct? You learn this in accounting. I think it's called the sink cost, when you don't want to sell something or to.
Yeah, that's the sunk cost fallacy.
Yes.
It's called the sunk cost fallacy, when you are behind and you keep sinking money into a losing.
Investment is like you keep investing on something.
Yeah, but the plan isn't to be doing that at all this time.
Anyway, it's time to buy. It's time to buy. The bottom is soon.
Yeah. So this is basically, as we part of the idea here is, as I've already just said to you guys, but as you can see when we get the chart back up, you can kind of see how this is a good position to be in. Okay, it could go a little bit lower. If it does go to 900, that would be amazing. That would be really good.
I think I will buy at 900,
and
because I already have some Ethereum.
And the way I see it is, here the lower it goes, the higher it will go, which is a little bit counterintuitive. But the lower, if Bitcoin can somehow squash Ethereum down to 900 or something like that, then that's when the big money, the smart money, will start entering and buying Ethereum low. Ethereum's been hated for 2 bull runs straight.
It would be nice to do something like this, huh?
It basically ticks all of the boxes. If it can go a little bit lower, then that would incentivize the big money to enter, and the big money has power over the social media. So this is what I'm thinking. Regardless, I'm being very conservative in my thinking, and I'm happy to get 100% out. I'm happy
You're
with
not like me. You're not hoping the X10. Huh?
But what people do is they get lost in the numbers, because when Bitcoin starts pumping, I'm going to be looking at a lot of complex signals to try and pick the top. I'm not going to be thinking, this is the issue. It's like, how do you sell? Where is the sell point? Where is the top? Okay, well, I suggest you subscribe to this channel, and we will be talking about that when we're near the top. So far, I did pretty well. I picked 3 tops. The second top within an hour. Not even joking. I can prove it. It's crazy. Pick the top within an hour. And we're going to be looking for the top on Bitcoin, and that will be the time when we sell Ethereum. I think Bitcoin will be the signal. And hopefully that is... and then basically we sell, we reset. But right now, the plan is...
you see,
look,
you see this little arrow. You see this little arrow. You think it's small, and it's already 1,000 to 3,000, which is 200%. 200%, yes.
Yeah.
1,000 to 3.
So
it's already huge, 200%.
Yeah. Well, with this alone, I think over the next 3 months there should be a bit of a rally in Ethereum. It could go to 2,000 or something. We don't know yet, but that even could be a sell if you want to do a short-term sort of a swing. I'm planning on holding until we hit that top. But look, another thing I want to point out is that if you are a day trader, you don't want to be day trading at the tops because you lose all of your money. Down here, if you want to play around and you want to start kind of gambling and day trading or short-term swing trading or Reddit, whatever, if you do it down here on Bitcoin or Ethereum, then let's just say the market moves against you. Just hold for a year, and when the market kicks back in and inflation kicks back in and liquidity hits the market again, this thing's going to pump again, and you just need to wait. You don't want to be buying at the tops and then it goes against you. So here you could actually start buying around these points and just steal a quick 50% here and there. You don't want to be doing it on alts, though. You want to be doing it on the large ones. It's Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Can you remind or explain back why we look at the graph in a monthly basis and not on a daily and not on a weekly?
Well, can you zoom in a little bit just to this cycle through the back so that that's a bit logarithmic. The logarithmic doesn't really show it that clear. This makes it look a little bit more clear to people. It's down, and sure, it can go lower, but also if you go back, if you have a look at the 900 mark, in theory, if this was to accumulate, it should go higher than 1,500. It should be maybe 2,000 if we're accumulating. If you have a look at it, if we're accumulating properly, we shouldn't be this low. But in a way, oops, but in a way, you can see on the chart that we've hit like a bottom in a way. We've kind of flattened out on the monthly chart. You can see we've flattened out. Now, that makes me think that we're in a way lower than what the trend should be. already. This makes me think that this position could be the bottom already. But don't get me wrong, I'm still wishful thinking that Bitcoin can somehow crush Ethereum down to 1,000. But another thing I want to point out, over the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has been pumping and then grinding down to try and push Ethereum down. And you can see it on the chart. It's almost like someone is controlling Bitcoin to try and make it happen. They weren't able to get Ethereum lower. And so that's
Dave,
another.
will you agree with me? On a bear market, it's better to start to invest slightly early than finding the exact day of the bottom. And on a bull market, it's always better to leave the bot a bit early than trying to get exactly the top, where when you never get exactly the top except some person that find the exact day. But if you stay 1 week too long in a how to say, in a bull market, it will cost you half of your assets. And at the opposite, on the bear market, it's a bit less because it's never going like 50% in 1 day. But
Yeah, you can see on the chart that it took 2 years from the bear market to slowly. It's the escalator up. It's the slow steps up, and then it's the elevator down. So at the tops, you want to have your finger, like when it's going parabolically up. That's when you quit your job. You don't go play chess or have any dates, and you watch the chart and you don't sleep. And you sit there with your finger on the red button ready to sell, because
you never buy back.
you're gonna get in the elevator and it's going to dump and you're gonna lose 30% within a couple of hours. So that's the important key here, is that people will wake up and they've lost 30% and then they're holding it, hoping that they're going to gain it back, but it never does, because the algorithm or the mathematicians, they know this. They know you're going to try and hold and get your money back, and they suck you back in. So it's better to sell.
You can see in 21 when there is this huge green candle and all these huge one. So let me when you see this huge one, this one as well.
But also look at Ethereum where it is right now. In a way, Ethereum's gone sideways on the monthly candles.
But when you have this one that is huge, let's be honest, plus 30 to 50%, you are at the top, huh? You're at the top. Just 1 month or 2 months maybe early. You even sell 2 months early, but you avoid all this terrible collapse. Like they are terrible.
At the tops, it gets parabolic. It's really not that complex. You can go and show a 10-year-old this chart and you show them a bunch of green candles, and you like nephew or niece, hey, I know you're 10 years old, but let me show you this chart. It's been going green for the last 2 years. Do you think, look, I'm rich now. Should I stay rich, or should I hold? It's like the child will say, sell now. When it goes down, we buy again. And this is, look.
It's like selling a candy for $400.
It's not complex. It really isn't that. It is complex. It is complex to see the patterns, but when you step back and you explain it like this, it really isn't that hard. The fact that people get stuck is a little bit, it's like, how could you get stuck?
But it went back to my question, and I think to look on monthly basis help to this pollution of everyday this everyday noise.
So what I will do is I will go down. As I said, I was looking at the hourly chart, but I was only looking at the hourly chart after the monthly chart, the weekly chart, the daily chart all made sense to me. And I'm looking at what is going on with Ethereum and Bitcoin, and I'm switching between the two. looking for patterns. But look, for people watching this, let's just keep it simple. You look at the monthly chart, we're lower than where it was at that other bottom. We're lower than that. We're lower than the other accumulation part before March. You see the two bottoms that we just touch on? Like we're just the only bottom that we need to go lower than is now, it's now 900 basically. We're underneath everything right now. You see? Can you use your cursor and go to it?
Yes.
Just next to it, there's one. No, not that one. That's us. Where are we at? There. We're underneath there. And then go to the next one.
Yes.
Go to the next one behind it.
There is this one, and after is this one.
No, the next
left
one.
Or right? On the left or the right?
Go back to where we are. Yeah, there.
So we are here. Yes.
Yeah. Where are we next to? Next. This way. There. Stop. Yes. That's the next one. We're underneath there. Now go to the next one. There. We're basically on the bottom of that red candle. Put your cursor on the bottom. Don't go up there. Don't do that. Don't do anything else. No.
This one?
Just a lid there. Right there. Okay? That's where we're at. We're underneath that. And the only other accumulation part is the 900 to where we are now, that whole block on the left of it.
Let me draw it. I like line. So.
You don't need to. The line's there.
Let me make my line, okay, to show it well where we are.
So you can see there's like two. Yeah.
We are very at this.
And
this
can
threshold.
you draw a line? Can you draw a line from the 900 through the next one, and then through the next one? Because the line, like on an angle up, we have rolled over.
We're in the middle. You see, we're in the middle.
Can you do an angle up from the 900 through to the 900 through that? None. Like an angle one up, angle from the 900 up, and you can see
like this.
Yeah, like that. Higher.
Like this.
Higher. There. Stop there. We're beneath that. And can you delete the other two that kind of make it a little bit messy? But yeah. We're underneath that. Like, sure, we might be rolling sideways, but we're underneath that. If we were to drop down to 1,000 or 900, then it's like one, like, yeah.
Let me draw the parallel. So there is this one, and then. Wow, yes, we are close of the bottom, because we are, like, if you look from the canal, it's very matching. Huh?
Oh, you think that matches up with the bottom too? That's weird, isn't it?
Yes, it's matching the bottom of March 20 when there was COVID. You remember?
Look, there you go. Wow. There is a use for technical analysis after all. That's really interesting.
It is.
This could be the exact bottom.
Yes.
Wow. There we go.
You're gonna like my analysis. Yes.
Yeah. And so, like, when I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, well, it's broken through there. And so it could be going sideways. This could be like, there's another kind of way of looking at it where I start to think Ethereum's kind of gone sideways. It hasn't really broken any all-time highs since 2021, and that's kind of what XRP did, isn't it? XRP, Cardano, they basically did the same thing. And they accumulated and they were hated for a long time. XRP was a joke for a long time. And then from August, I think it was August 2024, XRP just skyrocketed 500% out of nowhere. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen on Ethereum. I think it's highly unlikely that Ethereum does a skyrocket up to like 10,000 or something like that. I think it's highly unlikely, okay? I'm just saying, but when we start getting, if we get up to 3, 4, 5,000, that's when I'll start watching really carefully. And I'll be taking note of how much longer we've got left in that first run. I'll be looking where we are.
Let me address the previous top of 18 when it was parabolic.
It goes lower, doesn't it? That channel goes lower than where it was 2020.
Yes. No. We are almost at the level of the top of 18, which is 8 years ago, 2 cycle. So I think we are not far. So what he could do is hitting this. It means it will be a big bite signal if he hurts 1400, the previous the top of before.
I see.
Wow! It's impressive.
When you get all complex like that, a lot of it starts to make a little bit more sense. But look, for you guys at home looking at this, just look at it like a child. Red candle, buy. Let's not overthink this. And don't be greedy when it starts kicking off, or make sure you subscribe to this channel because we're going to try to pick the top.
Anyway, thanks for today, guys. Thanks for today, and time to buy. If you listen, Dave, you put 25%. You don't put it all.
Yeah, and can we make another video when I put the next 25% in?
Yes, we will do that. But thanks for today.
Thank you. Subscribe. Hype the video.